Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to A.O.S. Abroad. Thank you very, very much for joining today's episode of Canada Immigration by A.O.S. Abroad. We really do appreciate everyone for joining this live session today. And today is not going to be different. Today, we are going to be having another interactive communication with you all. We're going to be discussing about Canada immigration in details. So if you want to learn from what we have for today, then stick around up until the end. So today's live session is centered on a very new um, update that we got from Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, which is IRCC, the body in charge of Canadian immigration. And today we are going to talk about how those that already have their profiles, their express entry profiles, would have to, you understand, run their application or work on the application once they, of course, get selected or they receive their invitation to apply, which is the ITA, right? So today we received a message from IRCC, just like I said, for those that already have profiles. And I'm going to be reading the message in both English and French. And after that, we're going to be discussing through the use of the CICnews.com website, which is the Canadian Immigration and Citizenship Canada website, news website. But um, let's really talk about the message we got firstly. So yesterday, being the 12th of August, Tuesday, the 12th of August, 2025, at exactly 7:09 p.m., which is I think Nigerian time, it was 2:09 p.m. Canadian time. So the government of Canada actually sent a message to many of their candidates in the express entry profile, and the message actually reads thus: express entry, upfront medical requirement. You understand? And the French version is entrée express, exigences médicales, préalables. Exigences médicales, préalables. So basically, just talking about the upfront medical requirements. So, immigration, réfugiés et citoyenneté, Canada, which is the IRCC, the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, they sent the message to every candidate that were on the what express entry profile yesterday. I've said that Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, and the message reads thus: La version française suit le texte anglais, just like the way an official message from IRCC would always read. It was always write what? It would always inform you that after the English version of the what? After the English version of the message, you should expect the French version. And that's one of the ways I do always inform people, especially people that reach out to me and say, "Oh, I got a job offer. Oh, Canada said that yes, they gave me a visa." They, I always wonder, how do you even always think of it? Because sometimes we blame people, we blame scammers, we blame, you understand, travel agents and people like that that will send messages. But we should really blame those that are saying the messages, and you don't see some cues, you don't see some um viewpoints that would make you feel that, oh, okay, yes, or some clues that will make you feel that, okay, this is actually from Canada, and you just assume that yes, you have been given a visa without you applying or without you understand, being qualified or being pre-qualified yet. But that's just an aside. I just said I should just point that. Let's go back to the email that we received. Okay, Queen M. Amira is saying bonsoir. Oui, bonsoir, madame. Comment vous allez? Okay, that is one of our commenters on Instagram. Said bonsoir. She said, Queen M. Amira is saying, je suis enseignante de français depuis 10 ans. So she says she's what? She's a teacher of French, or a French teacher, um, since 10 years ago. So congratulations, 10 years. That's quite a long time. Around the time I too also became a French teacher. So congrats, and I hope you'll be able to benefit from what we have for you today in terms of the newsletter, news article, or the news update we have from IRCC. So I'll be reading the English version, and later on I will read the French version of the message. For those that are on YouTube, if you're on YouTube through A.O.S Abroad website or A.O.S Abroad channel, you should see the article that I'm actually reading. So, rather, the news I'm reading. So it says Express Entry update upfront medical requirements. Good day. You are receiving this message because you have completed a profile and entered the pool for programs managed under the Express Entry system. So, again, just like I said initially, you are going to receive this message from IRCC as at yesterday. Let's say you had a candidate profile under the Express Entry program. You understand, or the profile. Um, if you are already in the pool, basically. So they said we are writing to let you know about an important change to the program requirements. So this is one of our clients, one of the messages they received that you understand, talking about today. So they are letting us know that if you are in the pool, you have to know that there are some important changes, because some people always say, "Oh, Canada did not tell me. Oh, I didn't receive this message." Oh, please, once you have a profile on the Express Entry pool, your responsibility, one thing you have agreed on when you were creating that profile for Express Entry, is that you would always be checking your email from time to time, should in case they receive or they send you any updates. Because of course, if you are going to be invited, if they send you your ITA, your invitation to apply for permanent residency, you understand, through the Express Entry profile, they are going to send it, or they are going to send a message through your email, the email you used to create the profile, and you'd have to use that email, or you have to go through that email to log into your, you understand, profile to get that invitation. So of course, similarly, the way they send you emails to show you that you have a message or you have an update on your application or your profile is the same way they send you a message on your email. So always be checking your email, basically. That's what we are saying. Don't only check the inbox, check the junk, check the spam, to make sure that you are seeing all the updates from IRCC and you are not being left behind when it comes to what? When it comes to you being selected or having the opportunity to know what Canada immigration is up to. Now, they said as of August 21st, 21st of August, if we look at that, that is about 7 days. Is it seven? No, 8 days down the line, because today is August 13th, right? August 13th. So 8 days after today, you understand? If you receive an invitation to apply for permanent residence through Express Entry, they are telling you, if you are opportune, you are part of those who receive that ITA, the invitation to apply for permanent residence under the Express Entry, you and your family members will need to complete an upfront immigration medical exam. You know, when you complete your application, when I think previously, that was like early this year, even late last year, yeah, you were not necessarily needing to go take your upfront medical exam. I remember during our own time, 2022, when we were working on our provincial nominee program, we went on to have, or to, you understand, run an upfront immigration medical exam. In fact, I remember that the medical exam I did were two were two. I did the first one, which is the upfront medical examination, immigration medical examination. And after I got selected, after I started the processing of my permanent residence, I also did a second one that the IRCC actually ordered me to do after the first one was close to expiration. Because, of course, for the medical exam, it just takes 1 year. It is valid for 1 year. And I remember during my own time, I think the exam was 2 to 3 months due to expiration. But IRCC didn't want me to wait until then, and they told me to go and redo basically the medical exam. I had to go, but now instead of an upfront, they give me the instruction, the medical exam instruction document for me to take there, and that's just really the difference. For this upfront medical requirement, IRCC doesn't give you the what? They don't give you the instruction yet. You just perhaps want to apply. You have just gotten your invitation to apply, your ITA. You understand? You have not yet, they have not started processing your application. In fact, you have not yet submitted your application, because you have to submit your application, get the EAPR, which is the electronic application receipt. Or once you get that, that is when they will now start applying. They'll start checking your application. But what they are saying right now is that you are not going to even be able to apply first before you get your medical examination done. And that's what necessitates the upfront immigration medical exam, the IME, the upfront IME. So you have to be able to go, first of all, get to schedule an appointment. You schedule an appointment with the panel of physicians in your own locality. Whether if you're in Lagos or in Nigeria, you go do it in Lagos. If you're in Abuja, you can go in Abuja, or you can go to other places that are accredited, recognized by what? By IRCC, for you to go get your your immigration medical exam done. In any country you are, it's not compulsory in Nigeria. You can do it in Ghana, in Kenya, in Malawi. You understand? Depending on the places that are available, that panel of physicians are available to do it for you, right? Now they said, now for you to complete your application, you need to do an upfront immigration medical exam. It is not like before that they said you don't need upfront medical, that you can apply first. Once you apply, they will now send you the instruction for you to get it done after. No, now they want you to have it done. Perhaps I believe is to fast track the process, because that's one of the reasons why they told us to do our upfront, then even though I had to do another second one. But basically, I believe it's just to fast track the process. Now, but let's continue reading what they are saying. They said this is a change from the previous process. You understand? They said it's a change from the previous process. What was the previous process? The previously applicants were asked to wait for instructions before completing their medical exam. That's what I said. Late last year and early this year, they will not allow you to go do your medicals. They will tell you, wait first, receive the instruction to complete your medical examination before you go do it. But of course, something about life is that change is inevitable. Change is the only constant thing in life, right? So IRCC that stated that you should wait for your upfront medicals. You should not go do upfront medicals before. They are still the same organization that are telling you, okay, now go and do your upfront medicals once you get invited. So that's where I also come to tell people that when it comes to immigration, things change. Things change. So the fact that you know something today does not mean that tomorrow is not going to be different. Do you understand? There are a lot of people now that are coming into Canada as visitors. Do you understand? There was a time people that were coming into Canada as visitors were allowed to change their visiting visa to work permit. You understand? Like, you could get a job, and from the job you could apply for work permit. But now it is no longer allowed. You understand? As a visitor, they don't allow you to actually get a job directly whilst you are inside of Canada. You have to leave Canada first before you are allowed to get a job. So things are changing. You can't vex for Canada, even if you vex for them, they will do what you understand they want to do. You understand? Likewise, immigration consultants, lawyers, or people that are assisting you with your process, you can't fault them when changes like this come, you understand, into effect, because nobody would have that foresight to see that, oh, this thing will change anytime soon. So the best suggestion anyone can give you is start working on your immigration right now. Don't wait and say, okay, so this is what they are doing now. Okay, wait, out maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe next year I'm going to do it. Because you don't know that next year, that next month, or next week, or next day you are thinking of, something could happen, and every step of the process will change. Or if not every step, but at least one or two steps of the process will change. So instead of you delaying your process, quickly do it so that you get to benefit from, you understand, that opportunity when it arrives or arises. Now, what are we saying in essence? What we are saying, based on what IRCC stated on their message, is that now when you complete your express entry application, when you complete your permanent residency application, now IRCC will ask you to upload proof of your upfront medical exam in the express entry profile builder, right? So now it is not more an option. Before it was an option that, okay, if you don't have your upfront medical exam, they will even tell, not even only option, they will tell you, they will mandate it. Wait first for your what? Wait first for the instruction before you go do the medicals. But now they are saying, even before you apply, even before you have the opportunity to, you understand, get your application looked into by the visa officer, they require you to what? They require you to upload a proof of your upfront medical examination, right? So someone may ask, okay, how do I go about that? Now IRCC has responded to it. They said, here is what you need to do according to your what? According to your situation. If you want to get, maybe for instance, you have gotten your invitation to apply for permanent residence and you want to work on your upfront medical examination, IRCC is telling you this is the step you need to take in order to become what? In order to get that upfront immigration medical exam done. One, they said, if you are in Canada, okay, you are already in Canada. Maybe you are in Canada as an international student, you are in Canada as a temporary foreign worker, you are in Canada as a visitor, or you are in Canada as a refugee claimant, any which way you are actually in Canada, and you are applying for permanent residence. And you have had an IME in the past 5 years. You have had the immigration medical exam in the past 5 years. Maybe, for instance, of course, if you come into Canada as a student, they may require you to do medicals whilst you are coming into Canada as a student. If you came in as a worker, they may have required it part of the application to get either the study permit or the work permit. You understand? For example, okay, they have said it's for a work or study permit. Please, they are telling you, please include your IME number. That previous IME number you got when you were applying for your study or work permit, they said include that IME number or the unique medical identifier, either the IME, the immigration medical exam number, or the unique what? The unique medical identifier. They said include one of it. You understand? One of those numbers, include them when you submit your application. You understand? When you submit your now new permanent residency application, you said include that. If we cannot use your old results, they are telling you, if maybe your old results was too old, it's more than five, or it's 5 years, but they feel that, okay, your situation could have changed, your medical situation could have improved or could have deteriorated, God forbid, or one thing or the other, they are not clear on, basically. If they can't use that your old result, IRCC will send you instructions on how to complete your medical exam after you apply. So after you apply, after they have started working on your immigration, they will now actually send you instructions for you to know, now go get the what? Now go get the new immigration medical examination done, right? So another question from TikTok by Afia April Rockstar is please, I got band 5. Can I get PR? Very generic question. But again, if we are to try to respond to that question, we have to look exactly at your own situation. Band 5, we don't know which kind of exam you did, whether it's the IELTS, whether it's the PT, whether it's the TEF Canada, whether it's the TCF Canada, whether it's the CELPIP. We don't know for sure which one you actually got. But in any which way, people that are getting band 5 too are getting PR if they know how to go about it. You understand? You may not go for other programs that are very competitive, like express entry and things like that. You could go through other programs like provincial nominee programs that requires lesser score, or rural community immigration pilot program, or francophone community immigration pilot program, or even Quebec skilled worker program. There are various programs that are available for those who have either band 4 or band 5 or band 6. It all depends on you understand, the programs you are applying for. So if you want to learn more about the programs that you can actually get eligible for, the programs that you can work on to get your permanent residency in Canada, you can go on our bio, click on the link on our bio, aos.name.ng, and through our website, we have done a free webinar that discusses in details all what you need to know about how to get your permanent residency, either with a low CRS score or with a low IELTS. Okay, you said IELTS. Either with a low CRS score or a low IELTS or a low French score. We have explained all those in details. So you can go on the link on our bio and click on the link, visit our website to learn more. Okay, so Ajoke is also asking, how do I apply for express entry? I'll give you the same advice. Go on our website, go on our bio, click on the link aos.name.ng. It explains in details how you can apply for express entry. As I've always said it on this live session, there are 15-step processes you need to adhere to or you need to follow. You understand? Not every of them are compulsory, depending if you have a family or if you are in Canada or not, and things like that. But go on it. Out of the 15-step process, there are three major processes, which are the first ones that we always tell people to actually gather, which is their work experience, their education, and their language requirements. Those things we explain it in details, and if you want our assistance on how to actually get prepared for any of those, how to work with you to, you understand, sort your documentations, you can actually reach out to us. Go on the link again, as I said, and through the link aos.name.ng or on our bio, you'll be able to see how exactly step by step how to follow through with your what, with your own express entry or provincial nominee or any other permanent residency related programs. All right, let's move on. So moving on, the first scenario that IRCC gave us is that for those who are already in Canada and have had an IME, what is IME? An immigration medical exam done within the past 5 years. If you have done it, IRCC may use your old IME results, your old immigration medical examination results, or they may send you a what? They may send you an instruction, and through that instruction, they may request that you go do a new what? Immigration medical examination. So that's the first person. The second way to actually the IRCC stated is that if you have never had an IME, you understand, that means you have never done the immigration medical examination before. They said, please contact a panel of physician, or a panel physician rather. Please contact a panel physician directly to complete one and upload the proof when you submit your application for permanent residence. So in situations like mine, for instance, in the year 2022, when I was working on my own immigration, as at then, is it 2022 or 2021? Any of those years, I remember I didn't have any immigration medical exam done before, because of course, before I came into Canada as a permanent resident, for many people that know, I have never worked on any visa before. I've never worked on study permit, I've not worked on work permit, I've not worked on visitor visa or refugee. So it was a fresh application basically. And because it was a fresh application, I never had the immigration medical exam. So all what I did was I contacted a panel physician. I remember, thank you, Ajoke, on TikTok. I see a lot of your likes. Really appreciate that. So I contacted a panel physician in Lagos, Nigeria that time. I think it was at, is it Koyina or Lekki, one of those places. Uh, I went there, had my medical examination done together with my common law partner as at the time. You understand? And with that, when I was applying for my permanent residence, residency application, all I just did was I uploaded, because there's a paper they will give you once you are done with your medicals. They will give you a paper. Yes, and of course they will collect your blood sample, they will collect your urine. You understand? They will measure you, they will check your BP, they would, you understand, run series of tests. For the females, they will touch their stomach, their, you understand, to see if they feel pain. I think they need to also lie down there and they checked everything, all my vitals. They also asked medical related questions, that do you have any issues, you understand, in terms of, okay, do you have any problems you are facing in terms of fatal illnesses, any kidney problems you have faced before, kidney disease, lungs issues, Do you smoke? Do you drink? You understand? Many of those questions they would ask them during your immigration medical exam. And something about Canada is that you have to be truthful in everything. You understand? You have to inform them. You must not omit, because they'll give you a list, and in the list they will tell you to tick. You understand? Tick what is currently doing you medically, and they will even tell you don't need to rush. If you are not sure of something, you cannot always update, but you have to make sure that everything. They will even tell you to bring your past medical reports. I remember when I was going, when we were there, we took our past medical. That okay, oh, all the things that we that necessitated us, even though I've not been to hospital before, but all the things that necessitated me to go to like clinic, to go to like what they call it, pharmacy. The pharmacy also always use in Nigeria. You understand? Like malaria, typhoid, they would always ask the kind of diseases that do you. And because I am someone that malaria type, that's anything. If malaria catches me more than typhoid, so in Nigeria, even though funny enough, I've been in Canada now for like 2 years, and I've not had any. In fact, it baffles me. I've not had any reason to even have malaria now. And of course, when we're in Nigeria, malaria was like back to back every like is it 3 months or 4 months or maybe like 6 months. You must have that thing. Because all those all those mosquitoes, the mosquitoes that have trained, mosquitoes that are vexing, mosquitoes wey be say sapa don catch. So mosquitoes were vexed. But in this place, before you even see mosquito, it is not that there's no mosquito in Canada. I think so. Yes, yeah, I believe mosquitoes too should be in Canada. But before you even see them, safe, Ajebo mosquito is what you have here. If they even bite yourself, you no go get you. I don't think you have malaria. But what I'm just trying to say is, when you are going to your immigration medical exam, they would ask a lot of questions as regards your health, a lot of questions about your medical history. So you have to be very, very upfront about it. You have to tell them the truth, because if you don't then tell them the truth, and they find out when they are running the immigration medical exam for you, and they inform IRCC that you didn't state this, but they found this out, it may be a reason for your denial. It may be a reason for your visa rejection. You understand? So you will not want a situation whereby you have done all the so-called documentations or gone through all the processes, you have wasted money on IELTS. Some people always say, even though me, I don't call it waste, it's investment. It's investment, because no matter, I do tell people, no matter how much you spend to come into Canada, especially with the right way, which is permanent residency, especially if you want to stay here permanently, because some people don't want to stay here permanently, like the outsiders have seen that we just say, okay, I just come here to study, and a job is already waiting for me in Nigeria. We're not talking about people like that. People that, like our fellow Yorubas and Igbo people, apologies that I'm mentioning clans, but I'm just being truthful. Tribes, there are different tribes with different mentality. Those that want to japa, you understand? Those that want to go permanently and don't want to look back, like it's a for life thing. Now, I live Nigeria for life and I don't look back. Those are the kind of people I'm talking about, because you cannot afford to spend so much, you understand, invest so much, and at the end of the day, little thing like, okay, they have given you invitation, but little thing like, okay, your medicals, but you, without declaring that, okay, you had maybe like an operation before, they have done it, but now you are fine. But you did not say that statement, that you did not give them that information that, okay, yes, you had an operation that was done maybe to your kidney, you had a kidney stone or something, and you informed them. But the fact that you were truthful, you were upfront about it, would help you not actually get rejected. But if they see that you got a kidney and you didn't even report it, what will be going on the head of the visa officer is that, okay, this one that not disclose the kidney operation he went through. It may be that he has other operation that he did not. The one that we know is the kidney that they brought out. It may be that he has other issues that he has had medically in history. Do you understand that he didn't disclose? So because of that, they will feel that this person is not truthful and this person can be a burden to the what? To the medical facilities in Canada. Because you have to understand something. If you are coming in as a permanent resident, they know that you are not going to be spending your own money for many of the things that will do you medically, right? Because there's something we call free medical health care in Canada. There's free healthcare system and it works because is it yesterday I been there for yesterday again? I went to go and do general body checkup for free. For free. I not they not collect shingbai for me for free. I met the doctor, we spoke, we had it in fun, we discussed, they checked my vitals, they you understand? No issues. And it was free. But in Nigeria, we know say you go do small checkup like this, you collect money. Do you understand? So they know that if you are coming to Canada, especially as a permanent resident, the crux of the medical system services you are going to be receiving is for the what is going to be taken care of by the Canadian government. Because you know, people always think everything, even though they say free healthcare, someone is paying for it. You have to understand it because nothing is entirely free in this life. Someone is paying for it. You can't expect a doctor to be going to work and at the end of the day, that doctor is just working and is not collecting money and they say free healthcare. Doctor sef go vex now. You understand? So the major thing is it is the government of Canada that is actually paying the doctor, you understand, and the hospital or the clinic for that service they are rendering to you, who is a permanent resident. So you have to understand if you don't disclose your medical history to the panel physician and let them know that okay, this is what you have in your body, this is what you have been struggling with, you understand, and they get to find out later on through their own tests and examinations. At the end of the day, you can actually get inadmissible to Canada, and there's something known as medical inadmissibility, right? If they find out that you are medically inadmissible to Canada, that means that your medical history would put a burden on the public services of Canada. Do you understand? And that means that your own issue, your own medical issue, your own healthcare issue has actually surpassed an amount that they are meant to actually use for a particular permanent resident. Let's say, for example, even though I don't know the exact statistics, let's say, for example, Canada states that in a year they will spend $50,000, 50,000 Canadian dollars on a single permanent resident. And your own medical situation, do you understand, necessitates them to spend maybe like $75,000 on you for just a year. Maybe because you have cancer of the mouth. If there's anything like that. That kind of thing may cause you to be inadmissible to Canada because Canada will not want to spend more than the budget. It's not like Nigeria that there's no budget. This one, there's budget and they follow the strict budget. You understand? So that kind of burden, that kind of financial strain on the public service would allow you to be inadmissible to Canada. But if you have been upfront about it and say, okay, you had this, but you are taking care of it, okay, your medical expenses, you are sorting it, that kind of thing. When you are upfront about it, basically, and it's not that they get to find out about it, and now you don't have something to use to back up that issue. At the end of the day, you could get medically inadmissible to Canada. And if you are medically inadmissible to Canada, apart from even them rejecting you, you may get a ban because medical inadmissibility may come together with misrepresentation if you fail to disclose a fact. You understand? So if you fail to disclose a fact or you hide a particular information, it could also lead to misrepresentation, which is going to cost you 3 years to 5 year ban from entering Canada. So imagine that, yes, you have marked that your ELTS, you have a very good French result, you also have a very good years of work experience, you also have very good education, you are like master's degree, that PhD degree, that DDD, HHD, OND, all those D, you shall have everything. It should not be just your medical history that will cause issue. You understand? So please avoid that. Basically, that's why we're saying all this. Avoid that. Be upfront about what you have medically. Be upfront about, tell the panel physician that okay, yes, this is what you have. This you can even now inform them that okay, you are currently working on your medical history, you are currently working on your healthcare thing. So before you get to migrate to Canada, you could have sorted the issue out, or even better still, sort it out before you go for an immigration medical exam, so that it could have been cleared. You don't have any issues before you go for the exam, so that you have a clean slate. Even though, yes, you still have to disclose it medically that, yes, you were battling with this thing last year, but you have sorted it like 2 weeks ago before you came. That kind of thing. They know that, yes, you have been proactive. You have been proactive in sorting out your medical history. You have been proactive in making sure that the simple, easy medical healthcare problem that you had is not going to jeopardize your permanent residency or your Canadian immigration journey to Canada. Do you understand? So I hope I've been able to explain that very well, and you understand that a lot. So what they said is that if you have never had an IME, they will send you an instruction and they will require you to upload a proof of your upfront medical examination when you are submitting your application for permanent residence. And they said you should only complete your medical exam after you have been invited to apply. In fact, I think that is one of the big mistakes I made. That is one of the big mistakes I made that time. That time, maybe say I just created express entry profile, but my blood dey hot. My blood dey hot. Say, oh boy, they go pick me, Jerry. Man, I go do the medical exam. You understand? I want to go and do the upfront medical exam. But funny enough, they not pick me for like, after 6-7 months down the line. Thank God they picked me again. Because let's say they not pick me, that means I just wasted that money. You understand? But at least they picked me. But what they are trying to say is, first get selected, first get invited to apply for permanent residency before you go run your immigration medical exam. Do you understand? Don't rush like me. Don't be like, because if you rush at the end of the day and they did not pick you, you have just wasted money. Canada will not refund your money. Oh. There's no, because they have informed you. That's why they send you this one. They send you this message. They have informed you before that don't waste your money to go get your immigration medical exam done without being selected or invited to apply for what? For permanent residency, right? And of course, they said, thank you for your interest in immigrating to Canada, sincerely. So that's the English version. The English version of the document we received yesterday rather, through the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. But again, let me read the French aspect before we call it a day today. The French format. The French format that was also said, which is similar to what was said at the top, is Entrée express, exigences, médicales, préalables. And what they are saying is, bonjour, good day. Vous recevez ce message parce que vous avez créé un profil pour entrer dans le bassin d'un programme géré dans le système Entrée express. Nous vous écrivons pour vous informer d'un important changement dans les exigences. À compter du 21 août 2025, si vous recevez une invitation à présenter une demande de résidence permanente dans le cadre d'Entrée express, vous ainsi que les membres de votre famille devrez passer un examen médical aux fins de l'immigration et EMI préalable. Cette procédure a changé par rapport à ce qui était exigé auparavant. Les demandeurs devaient en effet attendre d'en recevoir des instructions avant de passer leur examen médical. Since I'm new here, thank you, Okikiola. Really appreciate your sticker. Now, they said, dorénavant, lorsque vous remplirez votre demande, nous vous demanderons de téléverser une preuve de votre examen médical préalable dans l'outil de création de profil d'Entrée express. So it's just similar to what they said before. They said, voici ce que vous devez faire selon votre situation. Numéro 1. Si vous vous trouvez au Canada et avez passé un EMI au cours des 5 dernières années, par exemple en vue d'obtenir un permis de travail ou d'études. Veuillez indiquer le numéro de votre EMI ou l'identificateur médical unique dans votre demande. Si nous ne pouvons pas utiliser les résultats de votre dernier examen, nous vous enverrons des instructions sur la façon de procéder pour passer votre examen médical après le dépôt de votre demande. Si vous n'avez jamais passé de MI, ça c'est numéro 2, veuillez communiquer directement avec un médecin désigné, puis une fois que vous aurez passé l'examen, d'accord, téléverser la preuve dans votre demande de résidence permanente. Vous devrez passer l'examen médical uniquement après avoir reçu l'invitation à présenter une demande. Nous vous remercions de votre intérêt à immigrer au Canada. Sincères salutations. Immigration, réfugiés et citoyenneté canadien. Canada. So d'accord, all what we are just trying to say is what we repeated in the first part, which is for the English explanation. So if you have any questions, please drop it on the comment section before we go. And don't forget, every time we always have a live session, at least one live session per week, every time to discuss these trending topics and news updates from IRCC about Canada immigration. So if you have any questions, drop it on the comment section. And even after this live session, we'll always come on live to explain and to discuss about it. Or we can also respond to you on the comment section. And if you want to reach out to us directly, don't forget to also go on our bio, click on the link on our bio, aos.name.ng. You can also have a 5 minutes free clarity call with me. So just go on our link again, and through the link you can get directed to where to book a consultation or a free clarity call with us, and we can actually be discussing with you. You understand, live. Some people always ask for WhatsApp, some people ask for numbers, some people ask for this. Anything you want, just go on that live session. Thank you, Kikiola. I really appreciate your gifts. Really appreciate the rose. Thank you very much. I see the banana. Wow. Thank you. I see 3 roses, 5 roses. Thank you very much on TikTok. Really do appreciate Kikiola. For that, you have actually won yourself a free clarity call, and it's not just going to be 5 minutes. It's going to be like 10 minutes if you want to actually discuss with us. So you can go on our link, click on the link on our bio, and book a clarity call. Or you can actually send me a message, send us a DM, and my virtual assistant, I would inform her about it, so she can actually book you if you want to discuss with us, or if you want to gift another person, you can gift another person if you are not using that. So thank you very much. I see that you are my number 1 gifter today, Okikiola. Really appreciate, and you have actually earned you have earned a lot through your giftings on Instagram, on TikTok rather. Thank you very much. You said you will. Oh, great. And I'll be expecting to hear from you soon, Okikiola. Really appreciate. So don't forget, every week we come on live at least once. I think I've said that. So please ensure to like, share with other people. If you want to get the full live session that we have today, go on YouTube. For those that know, anytime we're on TikTok, we also go on Instagram, we go on YouTube, so we can have recordings of this. So you can go on our YouTube to actually get the free recording to watch it yourself. It's free. You understand? You don't pay for it. So you can subscribe as well. You can follow us on those social media platforms. Share it with your friends and family. Let more people know about the updates that we got yesterday from Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, which is the body in charge of visas and immigration to Canada. And if you want to reach out to us, as I've said, lastly, just book a clarity call, or at least what they call it, go on our website and learn more. For those that actually have, how can they work on their permanent residence? How can they work on their express entry? What do they need to do in terms of gathering documents? What do they need to do in terms of the processing? Just go on our link, aos.name.ng, or click on the bio, and every step of the way for you to actually become a permanent resident of Canada, we have explained it in our free webinar. You can watch the webinar. We have a 4 hours webinar there. We also have a summarized 40-minute webinar. So any which one, click on it and I believe that should answer most of your questions. So thank you very much, everyone, once again, and do have a lovely day ahead. Bye for now. Au revoir.